Hello everybody, my name is Abbas and I would like to introduce you to my case called Piracy and Prophecy, which I made for the first season of the Thermaltake 2016 Invitational. It took me a little bit longer to finish than I thought it would because I had a couple of issues with the water cooling, but now it's working except for one of the pumps seems to be a little bit too weak. So there's something wrong with that. It's getting its 12 volts and it's pumping, it's working, but I wouldn't play any games at the moment with it because it's cooling the graphic cards. Anyway, let's start at the front here, or the side front, the right side, where the connections are. It's called Piracy and Prophecy, and it's all about pirates, but what they would think their case would look like if, bearing in mind that they come from the 1415, 1600s, and with all the design elements which they know from that day, if they would suddenly land in our modern day and age, what would they want their computer to look like so that they feel at home with it as well? Certainly not like the state-of-the-art computers look like. They would want it to look a little bit more like back in the day. Anyway, I'll come to the front in a minute. Let's start here. Or actually, I'll go around to the back, and because it's open at the moment, and I'll show you how it closes. In the back, I've got, well, it looks like a bar, but it's actually, what would a pirate be without his rum? Yo-ho-ho and a bottle of rum. Here I got my field ports, and I've got an array of cannons here, which are actually now SMD switches. They're in the back here, and with each one of them, I can trigger a function. Here I've got the kick relay for the LEDs here, so I just have to snap it down. Otherwise I would have to flip a switch properly. Here these three functions actually trigger the controller for the LED strips from Thermaltake, and this one I use for ejecting the CD here. Now what I can show before I close it, yeah, there you go, once again. And so these cannons and the gunwale have a function as well. Now I close it. I made two clips on both sides here, so it snaps in, and this gunwale is magnetic here. So let's just hold that one. There's not as much space as I thought there would be, but it works very good and clicks it into place. There you go. And this one magnetically snaps into place too. And just shows the cannons then. Placing them, getting them all in the right place, that was a tough task, but it works in the end. It always does. Here at the stern of the pirate ship, or treasure chest, or whatever you want to call it, I've got a shield of arms here as well. I got the two rum bottles, which are actually apple juice bottles. I cut them, I sliced them in half vertically, and used them as the cover for the two reservoirs from Thermaltake, the RL120. I think, and I covered them with printed out of internet, actually wine bottle emblem stickers, but I had to snip a few different manufacturers together, or different brands together, so that I actually have rum written here. So I had to look for the right colors and everything, and didn't want to spend too much time on that because I was modding. So I had to look for the right colors, but in the end it worked out very well because it's a treasure map. Pirate is written on it. It's got a red seal on it, like they used to have as well, and rum as well. The rum, yo ho ho, with a bottle of rum, is actually coolant from Thermaltake, which was delivered in the water cooling kit, the red, and some clear coolant as well, and a bit of printer ink. A little bit of black and a little bit of yellow, and then it gives me that really beery gold, golden rum look. Rum you have in clear, dark, and light look, and this is more mid-light. So here I've got a Piracy and Prophecy written on this banner. We've got two windows, here one and here one, which are for ventilating the air, because I've got the fans in the back and it has to come out somewhere. The hinge is supposed to look as if it's holding the top of a treasure chest. here, and but actually, as you saw, it's holding the bottom gunwale, so I can get in there, have a look if I need, or at the same time, flip it up. I need both hands to press the clasps, and then I can tilt it back. It stops the tilt so it doesn't touch the ground with the rudder underneath. Every ship needs a rudder. So let's come round to the right front. I utilized a wireless antenna, a big one here when I saw it. Then I thought, hey, that would make a good mast. And I made this mast with, a typical crow's nest, which was something like a lookout post with which they could spot other ships, which they would probably raid. Here in the right front, I still see the connections here. I cover the power switch with a skull here, which was actually a dog tag keychain. But it had a skull on it, and I never throw skulls away because I always need one for this, that, or the other Casemod. All the fittings which you can see, all are actually made out of wood as well, painted with 2 different types of color, so that they are a little bit rougher, and just by dabbing the paint on the top and then fingering with silver paint, fingering the sides and rubbing off with a cloth to make it look as if it's been worn, by rubbing on it and using it. And then I got these chrome studs so that it has the nostalgic but new look as well. Here in the front you always see my name, and this disappears when I flip the monitor down. Black Sails, one of my favorite programs at the moment. I'll play the music for it as well. So the switch is underneath a ledge here. Here in the front I got the CD drive. I'll flip it out again. That's why I made this base. I can actually tilt the whole case and I can get to the wiring as well. There's only 2 wires, SATA, and oops, there we are. There's the switch. Also with that worn metal look as well. Let's get to the front. I covered the whole plexi front here with wooden strips on 3 sides. Up there I don't need it, but on 3 sides. And I put some tackle here as well. This typical rigging which you would find to match the mast as well. This is actually leather strips, which I got from a leather handbag maker. And he gave me them. I made some little wooden pulleys here, and so you have that pulley winch system look, which the rigging on old ships and new ships, windjammers and so have. Of course I can change the colors of the fans, the Arling fans. That controller is from Thermaltake. Well, should I show you? Yeah, this bar here, this wooden rod, I can slide out. And if I want to take this off for transport, this banner, and this can be slid out. I need both hands, of course. I have to hold this. When I've taken that off, then I can unscrew these 4 things and lift it up and pull it out. So it's actually just 4 screws, the original 4 screws actually. These all stay on, and I just open up this one, that one, and the 2 on top, and then I can take the whole front off. I'm going to write some pirate names here. Anne Bonny, Ed Teacher, also known as Blackbeard. Some fictitious ones as well, like Captain Flint, London Silver. And one of the people don't really know, mostly, but Sir Francis Drake was also a pirate. He was appointed by the Queen. In other words, she gave him her permission to sack the Spanish, and which he did as well, many times. But he was a pirate. By modern day and standard, he would not be approved of. Anyway, here at the front, at the top of the case, I'm going to put, by the way, some studs like this here in certain intervals here as well. Just haven't got round to that. I'm tight on schedule anyway, and it's time I got a video and some photos up online. These studs, these skulls. I found on the internet. They actually have two clips, and you could clip them onto leather, onto belts or handbags and things like that. And so I clipped them, I snipped them off, and I used them as the end studs for these iron fittings. Did a lot of finger work here as well. I've still got some paint here. I got a little finger work here so that you can you get the optical illusion of it being worn out metal. There we got Davy Jones' locker. It was actually from an aquarium. I made a little banister around it as well with banister chains. A protection guard. And beware, do not tread on this ground. So there we go. That's the front. Yeah, one of my favorite pieces which I made is this shield here, the shield of arms, or skull and crossbones in the worst, most evil type of depiction I could muster. This is all wood here. This is also wood here, fingered and finger painted and brushed in such a way that it looks like metal. Here as well, the anchor, it's all out made of wood. Actually, most of the case is made out of wood. Here I got some dirty bones. I made them out of wood too. I have to be careful that I don't bang them off. Dirty bones, bang them off. Now that doesn't sound very nice, does it? But you know what I mean. This is a plastic skull. I can actually take it off. I've just stuck it on with a little bit of hot glue at the moment because I'm still pondering whether I'm going to put LEDs behind it, but we'll see. And these are made out of wood again, like the whole case. It's printer ink here, different colors of printer ink. I use printer ink because I can put it in my airbrush, and it's good for the jets as well. And I mean, it works in a printer, so why shouldn't it work in my airbrush? And silvered them off once again here so that it matches the whole array. The bones were much too clean when I first painted them in a beige color, and did a lot of finger work once again here to dirty them up a little bit and make them look as if they're old. Yeah, and it worked out very, very nice. I like that. So inside, most of the cables are all covered. You can't see much up there. There we got sunlight shining. Wait a minute, maybe I can get in there. It's better. Too much sun. Yeah, I haven't had sun for a couple of days, and now we have sun. Oh yeah, there you can see it better. Okay, I've got a pirate's ladder here, which connects the stern to the mid, or the mid to the bow of the ship. I covered the graphic cards also here with chrome strips and wood as well. The only problem I have with the whole system is that this water flow connector is not working at all. Should have tested it before. The other one is working, as you can see. The water is flowing, but of course it breaks it a little bit, so I wouldn't play. As you can see, it is flowing, but it's broken a little bit with that, or broken. Yeah, it breaks it a little bit, and so it's not flowing as it should be. I'm gonna have to get another one from Thermaltake. But otherwise, everything is working fine. I like the fans, and they're all covered in certain places with wood. Ah, yeah, another nice feature is here. I made a quick Ssd dock, once again in pirate style, of course, all in wood. And so I can take the SSD out here as well. Once again, I got the rigging here on the side to match the theme. These are actually letter openers, which I found in internet, and they were in chrome, and I love them. They look fantastic. And I made a shield once again. I was thinking of putting an LED behind here to match these skulls, but seeing as I want to take it off, I don't want a wire hanging anywhere. Just like here, I don't have a wire either. They've just got some wing nuts in the back, and I can actually, with two wing nuts, I can just take the whole thing off for transport and put it in a separate box. And I didn't want this wired either, because I can actually take out this rod, take this off when I want this to be removed as well. Here you see 6 connections. I'm only using 2 of them. Just a minute, I have to go to the doorbell. Okay, sorry, I just had to answer the door. And I can't remember where I was. Oh yeah, these 6 studs here. I actually had the plan of coming out of the radiator, going back into the radiator, and going back into the case, coming back out of the case and going into the graphic cards or the CPU respectively. But then because I tilt the back of the case, I didn't have enough space for more flexible tubes or for hard tubes, so I only used 2 of them. But then I covered the connectors with chrome studs, just like these ones here as well, and so that worked out pretty good as well. Like I said, this is not wired up, but I've got some LED effects here. I found this. Wait a minute, I can show you. I found one of these at a garage, which is actually a warning light if you have a breakdown or something. And I embedded it inside the plexi here, and I can actually turn on certain effects here. And seeing as it's flush inside the plexi, then you can see it from the side as well. So I'll just turn it on. And so you get a patina of light coming up the side here as well. So I've got some banister chains, some chrome elements here. Let's come around to the back. All the connections. I covered the slot array here also with wood. In the back, in the base, I have enough space, so I made a drawer where I can put in cables and the manual and things like that when I transport it, when I take it to the DCMM or something like that. Got these skulls here on the side with glowing eyes from Billy Bones' locker. And then I got the monitor here. Let's flip that down. The crow's nest. Don't know whether I've showed the crow's nest. The crow's nest, which is actually a wireless antenna. And here in the back we've got the rum bottles with the rum. Okay, if anybody has any questions, then please feel free to ask. The only thing which is now missing is I'm going to put studs like here on the top as well and in the back. But I wanted to get the video online because I'm one day later than everybody else. That was Piracy and Prophecy. I hope you like it. And thank you in advance for anybody who votes for me. Good luck to all the other contenders. And thank you to Thermaltake for this opportunity of representing Germany. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.